What is up, Earthnoids and Spacenoids? I am just a simple Newtype, and in this episode we are starting the manga Mobile Suit Gundam Red Giant 3rd MS Team. In this episode we learn about the 17th Independent Mechanized Combined Unit, also known as the 3 Red Giants. They go up against a wandering Zeon force who feels abandoned on Earth, and the unit does a little outsourcing as Federation resources are spread thin. So let's get into this. The war has already pushed back into space, but in the Pacific, a typhoon is about to subside. A Zeon commander is informed of the Red Ace. In the jungle, a mobile suit sneaks up on 2 Zaku's. It is one of the Gym Reds. The RGM-79G-RR Gym Reds are remodeled Gym ground types to complement the Re-Rage. Malaby Bryden's unit is designed for close combat, and Williams' unit is designed for mid-range combat. Weapons include 2 beam sabers, a 100mm machine gun, a rocket launcher, the Iron Bunker, a heat spike on Williams' unit, and a twin rocket bazooka cannon. The pilot uses a delayed heat spike which throws off the Zaku's. It takes out one Zaku's arm. Another red gym pops out of the jungle. As they are caught off guard, Zeon slowly realizes that there is a 3rd unit. Corporal Shuka tells Lieutenant Ralph Zabka that they shook off the Zeon pursuing them. He is piloting the Re-Rage. The RX-79G-RR Gundam Re-Rage is an overhauled ground Gundam in which the left side was heavily damaged and is painted a different color from the remaining Luna titanium armor. A new visor unit was installed, and the backpack has been removed. Besides this, it is still a ground Gundam at heart. They are painted red to counter the gaudy Zeon Ace pilots. Weapons include a beam saber in each leg, Vulcans in the chest, a twin rocket bazooka cannon, the Gatling revolver bazooka, and a shield. The Zeon commander is using a goof. Ralph loads the Gatling revolver bazooka. The enemy expects a condensed beam attack, but it actually fires a scattershot, putting so many holes in the goof. The 3 red units regroup, but someone in the distance is watching them. They surround the Zeon group and force them to surrender. Malaby Bryden tells the captured Zeon, "You guys have the black Tri-Stars, the red Comet, and the blue Giant. Well, we are the 3 red Giants. Take that." It seems that William finds the name a little cringe. At a Zeon camp, word is getting around about the Red Giants. One man takes note. A dish is flying over the Zeon camp. A man named Zargo meets with Kudai after telling some grunts to shut up. He is rebuilding old guns. The rumors of the 3 Red Giants are putting them on edge. This team's aces were all taken from them during the assault on Jabura, leaving them somewhat hopeless. Zargo realizes that the name 3 Red Giants is a jab at Zeon's aces and an attempt at the Federation destroying their morale. Seraphy thinks that they are genuinely trying to look cool, but just failing. They think the Feddies must be real dummies if that were the case. Cut to this smiling face. Will wants Malaby to cool it with the name, but she says it is the Ray Spirits. Chief Baron, or Varun, asks how the machines performed. Malaby calls her a genius. She is a subcontractor working for Bourne Industries. Things move forward quicker than expected because of Malaby's constant input. Shuka debriefs the higher-ups of Ralph's team, also known as the 17th Independent Mechanized Combined Unit. Since things are stretched thin and they need maintenance, they hired the help of Bourne Industries, who mainly manufacture parts for Yashima Heavy Industries. It is ran by a young girl named Baron. In the report, Shuka notes on-site modifications. Apparently, this unit made this equipment themselves, but Jaburo High Command must not know. Malaby flashes back to when they received the ground gems. She was with Baron through every part of the process as they fixed it up, so much so that they had to drag her away. They worked around the clock to produce the 3 Red Giants. Malaby thinks about the colony drop, but she knows she has to move on. A Zeon soldier with a mustache connected to his sideburns is trying to reach someone, but they are losing hope. It is just the 2 of them. Suddenly, they see a light. It is a mobile suit. The 2 swiftly get into their aquatic mobile suits. They wonder if it is the red ones. The old men at Bourne Industries are like, "Hell yeah, we're gonna die soon, so let's ride this to the ground." Oji-san is ready for death. The 2 Zeon soldiers spot the Red Giants. Will touches his earlobe when he is nervous, and Malaby points it out. Malaby starts touching her ear. "Oh, this feels nice." Never mind, she gets it. Ralph tells them to be quiet. There is silence. Then Ralph starts touching his ear. "I tried it and it doesn't do anything for me. I feel nothing in life." Suddenly, Gogs fire on the team. On the other side of the river is a Zok. Malaby does a sweet flip over the aquatic mobile suit. The Gog grabs the Gundam and pulls it into the water. Mustache Sideburns man uses Freezy Gel. Ralph uses the beam saber in his other hand and slices through the Gog's arm. The lieutenant tells him to give up as there's nothing left to fight for. Sideburns tells him he is giving his brothers time to return to space. The Reds take down the Zok. He isn't giving up either. That is when a goof comes in swiftly. It is Kudai. Kudai asks the Zoc if he is a fellow wanderer. He then asks Malaby if they are the Red Giants. Her face lights up. She says, "They know our name. Wow." The Bourne Industries team are making their way towards the Red Giants. Baron turns on the comms to hear Malaby yelling that they know their name. "You're gonna give the old men heart attacks." Kudai has 2 Zakus with him. He moves in close to Malaby, but will send a scattering beam shot widening the distance between them. It's a standoff between the Red Giants and Zeon. Fanfans and Jims come in to provide covering fire for the Red Giants. The Bourne engineers are watching the fight from afar. Baron notices something in the jungle. Kudai and his men retreat into the jungle. He calls Malaby a weird girl. The Red Giants used up most of their ammo, so they don't pursue them. The Jin and Fanfan team has even heard word of the famous Red Giants. Baron finds a guy hanging out in a hammock. She tells him that there is a battle nearby, but the man says the fight is ending. He seems to have very good eyesight. Baron looks away for a moment, and the guy disappears. The sun begins to rise. Ralph explains his revolving Gatling gun and how it fires different rounds very fast. He thinks back to working late nights with Malaby. The Jim and Fanfan pilots talk shit about William because he was born on Side 3. Ralph doesn't really care and brushes it off, but Malaby hears it and gets in the guy's face. Ralph tells Malaby to chill out. They all eat some food, but Will and Malaby doesn't join them. Ralph was once called the Blazing Tiger. We learn that Will's parents split up at a young age and he moved from Side 3 to Earth. He barely even remembers Side 3. Will wonders why Malaby is more upset about this than him. Some of the men try to start shit again and hit on Baron. Meanwhile, Ralph gets a little too drunk on sake, and we learn why he is called the Blazing Tiger. He says that calling Will an alien is going too far, and he punches the gym commander. A devil has been unleashed inside of Ralph. Will mentions that he hasn't seen this version of him in quite some time. He forces the team to apologize to William. They all apologize, but Ralph beats everyone up, including Will. Someone take the sake away from him. Malaby hid in the forest and learned of the commander's nickname. Ralph passes out. Malaby looks up into the sky to see dozens of ships launching. On that day, the Tiamat fleet made their way towards Salamon. The mysterious hammock man is nearby and now on a horse. He senses the war is coming to an end. The one-year war will come to a close in less than a month. What's left of the wandering Zeon forces are packing up and leaving South America. Zargo says they need to make a clean exit. One soldier gets a sucker punch on Zargo, but the man is bricks in a flesh sack, and the other Zeon soldier definitely broke his hand. They're heading down south to the tip of America to a base called Cape Bassword. Jaburo showed just how strong the Federation's ground forces were. As the war goes to space, Kudai realizes those left on Earth have already lost. The Red Giants are training. Ralph apologizes for his actions. Many are too nice to tell him what happened when he got blackout drunk. Cryptic Horseman, formerly known as Hammock Man, is super cryptic. The Jim and Fanfan team inspect the Zeon mobile suits from the previous battle. Suddenly, the Jim's camera sensors go out. The commander gets out only to be surrounded by cloaked men with knives. Cryptic Man mentions that he is a part of Azdaha. The Red Giants can't get a hold of their new friends that just went out on a new mission. Malaby wants to go find them. They have to carry out their own missions. They're working with a contractor named Deba. He knows the area quite well, which will help them. Malaby's mind is on the other team. Kudai is reading Starship Troopers. See, this is a reference to Heinlein's novel, which inspired Tamino, don't you get it? Seraphima is making fixes to Kurai's goof. The others tease him that she is the only one allowed in the cockpit. Seraphima works with Sophia to get the comms back up and running. Sophia's team has to reroute back up to North America, while Kudai's team is heading to Cape Bassword. They don't even know if that place exists, as it isn't in any Zeon databases. The cloaked children of Azdaha sing a song and enter into Zeon's base. They begin to attack the camp. One girl with a dog is dressed like something out of the Kishimoto fetish playbook. The girl tries to take the mobile suit, not realizing Seraphima is in it. Two Zakus covered in tribal markings capture Seraphima. Hammock Man is informed of the infiltration of their people. He says he doesn't need to be told because he could see everything. William starts some small talk that ends with him feeling sorry for the Zeeks. Malaby says if Zeon dropped another colony, would you still be saying that? William says, I'll just keep my mouth shut, I guess. The Red Giants are following the directions of Deba, who is still guiding them through the jungles. The tattooed Zakus have black bodies and gold heads. The ninja girl begins climbing up Seraphima's mobile suit. Two men try to rush their mobile suits, but they are taken out by an intimidating man. Well, at least until he introduces himself. He says his name is Baby of Azdaha. Oh, welcome to the Grand Tour, bitch. Kudai tries to stop Baby. The girl tells Seraphima to get out of the mobile suit, or she will blow it up with a bomb. She opens it and Sarah tries to shoot her, but she is too slow. She says, check out my dog. Her name is Kill of Azdaha. The Red Giants detect mobile suits approaching at rapid speed. Malabi moves in to attack. Kill in the Zaku throws Malabi's Gem Red. Seraphima wonders what the Reds are doing here. Kill reaches into her cleavage to pull out her dog tags so she knows her name. William doesn't understand why the pilot's movements are completely different, not knowing the situation. The two black and gold Zakus join Kill. The Red Giants try to split them up. Kudai is still holding his Luger at Baby, but he moves in and takes it apart. He says that his people have been forced to fight for survival due to their war. He sees them nothing more as losers running away. The two engage in hand-to-hand combat. Kudai is on the defensive. No, that's too nice. He's getting his ass kicked. The captain stops Baby, allowing Kudai to find Seraphima. Then a Zagak comes in. It is piloted by Zargo. He tries to smash Baby, but this Zagak has a regular hand instead of claws. It's so weird seeing a Zagak with regular hands. Baby kills the captain. Aw, I think he had a backstory and everything. He doesn't even bother killing Kudai. The Red Giants went to break apart the Zakus, but they ended up getting split up. William follows a Zaku down a cliff. Unfortunately, that is where the hover truck was hiding. At the same time, Deba tells everyone to get out of the hover truck. He is taking them prisoner. The hover truck operator tries to stab him, but he is able to subdue her. They all cooperate. What's the deal with the mysterious operator? Just a random silent Bob on their team, I guess. Baby jumps onto William's Gem Red and tells him to get out and cooperate with them. Deba is working with Baby and Azdaha. William is left no choice but to cooperate. Bro, you got baited and left the team, you fool! Malabi realizes this isn't the person he was fighting the other day. You aren't my fan. The fighting banter is all off. I love this girl. One of the old man of Born Industries talks shit to Baby. He says that's unbecoming and kills him. Baron learned a valuable lesson about being a wartime contractor that day. Also, look at this dramatic imagery. Calm down. Ralph can't get close to the Zakus. Meanwhile, Malabi is starting to adapt to Kill's movements, and Seraphima knows this. It was a psych out. Baby didn't kill Barun or the old men. That is when Hammock Man approaches. Deba calls him Otiets, Russian for father. He says his name is Regia, and not to call him that anymore. Baron notices that Regia was Hammock Man from the other day. Seraphi tells Kill that she is nothing compared to a trained pilot. Kill gets out of the mobile suit and grapples onto the Gundam. She gets out and teases Ralph, but then gets back into the goof. Seraphi says maybe you should be paying attention because they're distracting you, idiot. Malabi's Gem Red comes in to attack, but she is stopped by the Zagak with the weird hand. This time it is piloted by Kudai while Zargo is on a Wappa. Malabi says, my fan is here. No one knows who this girl Kill is. But while distracted, the gold and black Zaku come in and destroy Ralph's Gundam head. Back at HQ, Shuka is with some of the Born mechanics. They brought in new supplies. The mechanics look at one of the models they just received. They gasp and say, it's red. It's perfect. It is a gun cannon. Zeon comes in with more Zagaks. This one has a buzzsaw loadout. Neat. The pilot Thomas doesn't know how to use this mobile suit all too well, but he's able to fire off the buzzsaw. Oh, it's a projectile? Even cooler. The buzzsaw causes boulders to fly everywhere. People on the ground better learn to dodge. Baby saves the Born mechanics from debris. The Zeon pilot Thomas looks like Williams. He says that Williams and him have the same face. Okay, cool, I'm not racist. They are the same. Regia says, look at these sweet dance moves as I dodge these bullets. Zargo tells Thomas that they need to bail. His base is about to be overrun by Fetty soon. Apparently Thomas has a long-lost brother, and we know Williams is from Side 3. Regia tells Deba to send in the ostriches. He also tells Baron that she needs her mechanical skills. Deba seems to be the only one amongst them that actually knows how to pilot a mobile suit. They take Baron and William's gym and leave the rest behind. Kill retreats and is tired of fighting Kudai. She is taking Seraphi with her. The squad finds Malabi, who was knocked out. She wakes and says that she lost, and begins crying. Chilecito, South America, home of Azdaha. Seraphima asks why isn't she being kept as a prisoner. Kill says, why do you want to die? Just stay here until the war's over. They take a gondola to Kill's house. Ralph debriefs Shuka on the situation. Also, Shuka apparently first showed up in a Japanese arcade game that came and went. Shuka recommends they return to HQ, but it isn't in order. So, the Red Giants decide to rescue Baron. Malabi is still bummed out and held up in her mobile suit. She has taken the loss really hard. Seraphim meets up with Baby, who says that they slaughtered their men. So she assumes Kudai is dead. They welcome her with no ill intent. They also have Baron as well. The wandering Zeon continue to wander. Thomas is thinking about the guy who looked like his brother. Zargo reminds him that even if it is true, he has to be ready to pull the trigger since he's a Fetty. Kudai is just thinking about saving Sarah. Sarah and Baron get to know one another. Baron doesn't realize she is giving trade secrets to Zeon. Whatever, we're best friends now. She tells him about Malabi. Seraphim goes, oh, they're genuine. They aren't ironically making fun of Xeon with their colors. Malaby is back to her cheerful self. She has plans to help fix up the Gundam so they could get back on their feet. She shows the mechanics a new design. They think it may be possible, though the balance is going to be a little off. One of the born mechanics has an idea, but he wanted to avoid it. Somewhere else, a mysterious woman sneezes. Remember, in Eastern superstitions, a sneeze means someone is talking about you. Red Giants head towards the old lady. Her name is Valdi Bourne, the former president of Bourne Industries, and Baron's mom? Or grandmother. Either way, I'll call her mommy. She tells the old men to jump out of their gun parry. She says she is messing around, but one says she made him actually jump once. She dominates the room and she isn't even there. They're talking over comms. One thing to note is that the people of Azdaha stole the mobile suits, but they call them guests and claim that the guests have accepted them. Baby is talking to a Xeon officer named Love Cell. She is working with Azdaha and was the one who informed them about the wandering Xeon camp, but Baby wonders what her play is. They are welding a horn on the Zagak. Now that Kudai is using a Zagak, he needs a commander horn, I guess. They can't believe that California base fell, and HQ, who was sending them missions, no longer exist. They truly are a wandering Xeon now. Love Cell makes Kawaii ooh face to try to convince Baby to grow Azdaha, even though his father doesn't want it. She thinks he is easy to manipulate. The Red Giants meet with Valdi. There is one communications officer who is trying to continue communications with Kudai and his wandering Xeon team during all the chaos. It turns out this girl's CO is Love Cell. She tells her to get back to work. Is she wearing horns made of Saiyan shoulder pads? Kudai's team runs into some gyms. They move in quickly and take them out. They must be getting closer to Seraphima. Malaby meets with Valdi. She says that she is going to whip them into shape. The old men are scared and think they are really going to get whipped. 3 aquatic mobile suits, the Agaigai, the Zogak, and the Juagu, are all moving down south. They escaped from California base. They move in on a hangar. Something doesn't seem right to them. It happens to be Valdi's hangar. Ralph comes to defend in a stock ground Gundam. He tackles the Zogak first. The gun cannon sneaks up behind the Agaigai and throws the mobile suit. Williams is the pilot. All that is left is the Juagu. Out of the hangar comes Malaby in an upgraded version of the Gem Reds, which adds the Gatlin revolver bazooka. It's top-heavy, so she runs like a ninja to balance out the unit. Malaby rushes in and tells him and the others to surrender. They wonder who they are. No, don't ask her that. She says, we're the rebranded 3 Red Giant Stars. The Xeon soldiers think she is cool this time around. The team is having a briefing. After the Battle of Jaburo, most of Xeon went north to meet up with California base, but they were met with much resistance. So much resistance that some decided to move south of Jaburo, the Wandering Xeon being one of these groups. We learned this isn't a briefing, and just Malaby annoying everyone while eating and catching you, the reader, up on what happened. They didn't take the Xeon pilots prisoner, and they are just hanging out with everyone. They are confused. We learned that they ended up abandoning Xeon when all hell broke loose at Jaburo. Valdi says they could work here and pay off all the damage that they did to the facility. The 3 men's names are Nobi, Esuji, and Eigel. For now, they will help the 3 Red Giants as they rescue her granddaughter. Oh hey, confirmed that she is the grandmommy. The 3 are confused that Williams is from Side 3, but fighting for the Fetties. There is a subtle and clever, is this because I'm black joke here? But I don't give Japanese humor that much credit, and I think it's accidental. Valdi thinks that Azdaha may be in Chilecito. At the same time, Kudai learned the same intel. The communications officer's headset is snatched by Love Cell, who tells them they are under her command and to check Chilecito even though she was originally working with Azdaha. Kudai and the boys find this all weird, but this lead that they just got is better than what they are currently doing, which is just wandering. The Regia wants Baron and Seraphi to help fix their mobile suits. We learn that he calls them guests because he intends to give them back once this war is over. They were needed by the people of Azdaha because of a power imbalance. Once balanced, they won't have a need for them. Baron is starting to notice everyone here is really happy. At Jaburo, Malaby in her Gem Red runs into the Red Comet. Char's face is censored because we learned she doesn't know what he looks like. He fires a heat spike and stops her in her tracks. As she goes into attack, she is woken up by Williams. She was dozing off and having a dream. She said she was having a mind battle, but she was dozing off. One comms officer at Jaburo High Command tells Ralph they can't risk saving a civilian at the moment. Another officer takes his mic and says, "You bitches are wasting our resources. Also, I'm gonna be a dick to Shuka." His name is Exiba. Guys, I think this is the enemy of the story. He tells them to continue to look for retreating Xeon. The wandering Xeon runs into an Azdaha Zaku. Kudai adds a new attachment to his left hand. The two begin fighting. As Kurai moves in, the Zaku jumps back, then uses thrusters to double jump and do a backflip. These moves aren't taught in the military, as most would never think to put that much strain on the suit under gravity. Baron and Seraphi decide to help fix the mobile suit, if they're used only in self-defense. They were amazed that Kill was able to use the mobile suit at 160% output. Ooh, that engine ain't gonna make it past 200,000 miles. It's a lemon. That is when the Regia appears from the skies, floating down in a parachute made of bats. You heard me. He is cryptic about finding someone, so you are not alone in life. He is trying to be a wingman for his son, Baby. Maybe don't call him Baby if you want him to score. Baby is still working with Love Cell, who is still pushing him to help her. He gets into his mobile suit. Baby says that when this war is over, his father may give back this power, but he won't. The outside world will continue fighting after this war, and he knows that he needs these mobile suits. Baby launches. Back with the Wandering Zeon, the Azdaha Zaku stole Kurai's arm, which is a tentacle heat wire attachment. Remember, the Zagak has regular manipulator hands. These attachments seem to be designed to be held, but because they aren't directly connected to the unit, you run the chance of the enemy stealing it. I guess it doesn't have the hand authentication like normal rifles. Kurai then grabs the drill bit and attacks again. Back at the Born facility, Malabi is still mad they aren't going after Baron. While fuming, the radio calls out to her. She ignores it until the mysterious fourth member forces her to listen. I hope we never learn who this mysterious fourth member of the team is. Just keep it a mystery. It happens to be Deba on the other line. Kurai uses the drill to twist off the tentacle arm on the Zaku. It does another backflip and runs away. They're certain it is heading towards Chilecito. Even though Deba betrayed them, he is providing them intel because he wants Ralph's team to stop Baby from working with Zeon. They know that Seraphi is with them, and she is a retreating Zeon. This falls within the confines of their mission. They could go save Baron. William says, "We are also going to punch you, Deba." Malabi's unit is now extremely heavy. They pack the power of all three Red Giant stars into one unit. The comms woman Kurai has been talking to is named Sophia Anders. Kurai's team is talking directly to Love Cell and not Sophia. Both the Wandering Zeon and Ralph's team make their way towards Chilecito. The Wandering Zeon head to a mining town nearby to hide their mobile suits and move in on foot. There are so many shots of Kurai just thinking about Seraphima. I know the writer wants to show his determination, but you gotta show me some change, or else Kurai just seems a little desperate. Baron trips and Baby saves her. She keeps calling him Mr. Baby, and it's hilarious. Baby-san. He says that he will protect all guests, but she wonders if she has to be a guest to be worth protecting. Nice, Baron knows how to flirt. Baby, however, is struggling to express himself. Kill ruins the moment by telling him that they are being invaded and need to launch. Before leaving, he says he will protect Baron no matter what. That's the best you're gonna get out of him. A heat signature approaches the Wandering Zeon. Kurai gets back into the Zagak and whips out a chainsaw sword attachment. It is Kill in the goof, which is now painted black and gold. Kurai is sad to see his mobile suit in those colors. Love Cell mentions that if the Federation pushes hard towards Solomon, then Zeon is doomed. Oh, is she wearing Super Saiyan shoulder pad ears just so her shadows look like Char? That's silly. This manga's silly. It seems her plan is to abandon Zeon and take control of Azdaha. She looks up at her mobile suit, which is hidden in shadows. While Kurai fights Kill, Zargar and Thomas head into town to find Seraphima. Kill strikes first. She does a sweet front handspring over the Zagak. It turns into a sword battle. Thomas is weirded out by the fact that someone can make a mobile suit move so much like a human. They clash and Kurai uses chainsaw mode. Kill mentions Sarah's name and it makes Kurai's ears pucker up. She retaliates with the heat rod on the Zagak's arms and then uses the blade to slice the cockpit. But Kurai realizes her fighting style is a human fighting style, but mobile suits aren't real people. That slice did nothing, giving Kurai the opening. As he makes the next strike, another Zagak comes in and blocks the attack. Kill refers to this pilot as Mad, but it is Baby. Am I missing something here? Sarah is watching from the top of the mountain and wonders if it is Kurai. This is a new mobile suit, something that Father said they no longer needed. Kill wonders if Father knows what Baby is doing. Kurai senses something from above. Out of the sky, Malabi gives a nice skadoosh to the Zagak's head. Ralph and Williams are catching up with Malabi, who went off ahead. Malabi's new Gem Red has the Gatlin revolving bazooka. Love Cell is heading towards Chilecito in a gallop. She launches in her Dom FT Custom, the MS-09 Dom FT or Flight Type Custom. is an upgraded Dom with additional thrusters on the backpack, a rear skirt, and thrusters on the legs, which were taken from a goof flight type. This unit can fly in Earth's atmosphere. Weapons include a 6.2 missile launcher. Malabi looks at the functioning Zagak and says, "It's my #1 fan. Aw, and you have a little horn like me. That's so cute." Malabi is the greatest Gundam character ever created. Also, this manga is trying to show me that Kudai is trying to persevere, but he is just getting mogged by everyone in this series. They are both trying to save someone from Azdaha, so they work together for now. And Medea lands at Valdi's facility against her wishes. It is Exiba and Shuka doing an inspection. Valdi is tall, so she just looms over everyone. Exiba sends gems out to look for Zeon soldiers. He claims she is harboring them. The gem pilots seem to have been blackmailed into doing this job, and even they don't want to help him. Valda calls Exiba a weak man, and he proves her right by slapping her. The new Gem Red can function quite well in short, mid, and long-range attacks. Zargo and Thomas wonder how they are going to find Seraphima. Then, suddenly, she just shows up. That was easy. Zargo says, like a bolt from blue. Thomas is confused. He says, you know, like lightning from the sky. Thomas says, what the hell is lightning? Spacenoids, am I right? Love Cell makes her way to Azdaha and begin unloading missiles. They happen to hit near where Thomas and Zargo are. Thomas says, "Oh no, it's like a bolt from the blue. You didn't know what lightning was a few seconds ago. Shut up, Thomas." A missile is about to hit Zargo, Thomas, and Seraphima, but the gun cannon tanks the missile. It is Williams. He is amazed by the Luna titanium of the gun tank. He literally starts smacking missiles out of the sky. Thomas notes that the pilot has a Zeon accent as he runs away. Nobi, Aigel, and Asuji help the people of Chilecito escape. Valdi is still talking trash to Exiba. She can sense his hatred and knows he is the type of person who wants to continue this war, even though it is obviously winding down. Ralph and the Gundam shoots at the target from above, but it is too far away. It's too high for the Gunperry team as well. William says, "Don't worry, I got this." The gun cannon breaks apart, and out comes the core fighter. Thomas and his team says, "The rumors are true. You guys should be running, not doing commentary." The core fighter spots the target. It is Love Cell in her Dom flight type. He is amazed there is a flying mobile suit in existence. She begins another missile barrage. A golden Zok approaches. It is Azdaha. Specifically, it is Deba. They are here to help the people. The maskless ensign is named Otto. Ralph tells them to open the Gunperry hatch and keep it steady. He does a big jump and lands on the Gunperry. Then he jumps again, flying up to the Dom. Love Cell says, "How's a Gundam flying at me?" The Gunperry takes on a lot of force from the Gundam, so it gets shaky. The old men go bouncing around the hangar. "Careful, old men, that's how Miharu died." The Gundam whips out its rifle, but is stopped by the Dom. Williams and the core fighter run support, but he receives a back fist from the tail of the core fighter. Ralph falls back down due to gravity. Love Cell retreats. She can't blame the Federation now that she has been seen. Remember the ear quirk set up in the beginning of this manga? Throughout this adventure, both Williams and Thomas have been playing with their earlobe. Williams goes to the crashed core fighter. He has to see something for himself. As the Gundam lands, Ralph is instantly attacked. It is a Frankenstein black and gold mobile suit from Azdaha. It looks like it's Williams' Gem Red with the Zaku 2 head. It has 2 heat rods from the Dom fused into a double heat rod, and the Goof custom Gatling shield. Did I miss anything? The pilot is Baby. Love Cell calls Baby a baby and says she did the bombings. The Regia comes in riding 2 leopards and saves an old lady. He then says to Deba that someone is manipulating Baby. Deba seemed to have known. Love Cell says it is just like Zeon Daikun once said, "Punk bitches must die." I don't think he said that. Her hatred is clearly screwing her perception of reality. Idealism will take you places. Ralph and Baby start fighting. Love Cell sends out a wide broadcast. She tells Zeon that everyone moving south to search for the secret launch facility has been led astray. There is no such base. However, she gives them hope to rebuild. The captain suggests that Zeon move to Chilecito to begin the process of rebuilding. "We about to gentrify the hell out of this place." Hearing tremors, Baron goes to check it out, but a guard has been ordered by Baby to keep her here. She demands that he lets her go, and this guy folds faster than an NCO on shore leave in Okinawa. Baron exits to find the Gundam fighting Azdaha. While helping Azdaha in the city, Kudai is finally reunited with Seraphima. That's the end of his story. I expected more from you. Meanwhile, Thomas is finally reunited with his brother, but Williams is unconscious from the landing. Whenever he wakes up, it's gonna be an awkward reunion. Baron, with the help of the spineless goon, goes to Ralph and Baby's battle and tells them to stop. They are on a Wappa. Meanwhile, it seems that Love Cell is planning on blowing up the city. The Wappa climbs up the Gundam and then she lets go. Baby grabs her, and she slaps Baby. She says that everyone just needs to talk it out until they are all on the same page. Look in the sky. It's an eagle holding the Regia. He drops down onto Baby's mobile suit. Baby wants more power because of his mother who died. He believes if he had more power, he could have saved her. The Bourne Industries' old men move into action to find the core fighter empty. They explore to find both Williams and Thomas. The old men think that Williams split into two except for one. It's obviously his brother, you idiots. While the Reggie and Baby talk about his mommy issues, Baron tells him to shut up. She says that if you actually care about this city, stop talking dramatically about how you want to save this city and actually save the city. The Wandering Xeon, Azdaha, and the Red Giants work together. They need to track down Love Cell and her FT Dom. Eigel and the Rogue Xeon crew know of the FT Dom, and they do some back-of-the-envelope calculations to find out that they are heading towards Salinas Grandes. Azdaha wants to defend the city, but they need to welcome in Xeon with open arms. They just have to protect the city from the bomb. Nobi knows that Love Cell once was in charge of a nuclear warhead that she couldn't use, and he wonders if she is going to use it. During Love Cell's message, she said that the sun will rise, which they assume means city go boom. Love Cell gets a good distance away. Some soldiers were heading to Chilecito and she says, I wouldn't recommend it, as she pulls out the nuclear briefcase. While waiting, Love Cell mentions that she was born on Earth, but moved to Side 3. She was ostracized and had inadequacy issues, so she'll blow everything up. A smoking hot ensign tells Exba of the situation, and they allow the Ralph team to continue pursuit. She puts the helmet back on. The maskless ensign happens to be a hot girl. Baby walks in and feels like he missed something. Boy, did you. The team preps. Azdaha and Xeon will protect the city while the Red Giants head to Salinas Grandes. Ralph says they should get drinks when this is all over. No, don't do it, baby. He's a mean drunk. The twin brothers get a moment with one another. Malaby is happy to be fighting side by side with her #1 fan. They all head out for their final battle. A fat uncle approaches Love Cell's location, but it isn't Xeon. It is the Red Giants in the Azdaha black and gold colors. Thomas is fighting in Williams' gun cannon. He's still tuckered out. The 3 Red Giant stars drop down. Dom helps Love Cell. Kill and Baby defends the city from Xeon remnants. Kudai tries to get them to understand that they are friends. The Doms try to get the Red Giants in a pincer maneuver. Malaby isn't able to get a hit on Love Cell. The nuke that is going to go off is in Love Cell's Gallop, where Sophia happens to be. 20 minutes until the Gallop reaches Chilecito. Seraphy comes on the comms and tells Sophia to stop the Gallop. She spots friendlies and Azdaha units blocking her. Love Cell says that Malaby has no chance against her, but the Dom falls into a trap and Thomas and Ralph attack. She dodges the attack, but the flight system is ruined due to the evaporated saltwater from the dry lake bed. Malaby grabs the Fetty Cross logo thingy on the shield and uses it like a knife. She goes in low while Love Cell goes high, allowing Malaby to stab the cockpit and kill Love Cell. Did she just kill her with the power of Christ? Her 2 men rush in, but Thomas gets out of his mobile suit and tells them that this battle is over. He is Xeon 2 and they don't have to fight this battle anymore. Meanwhile, Xeon and Azdaha are trying to stop the Gallop. It seems it is on autopilot and Sophia can't control it. They take off the missile pods on the sides, but it keeps pushing forward. 3 gems come in to help. It is Exaba's men. They all continue pushing back. They are able to stop it. Shuka comes on the comms, and her and Sophia thank each other for their help. Valdiborn is standing in front of a bunch of wandering Xeon soldiers. She says to Exaba, these are my new employees. Exaba looks the other way, but in exchange, he is taking all the glory for this battle. Exaba finally says something nice to Shuka. You treat her with respect, damn it. Thomas is going to stay on Earth to catch up with his brother and watch over Kudai and Sarah. Remember when this manga made you think Kudai was a more important character? Baby is wearing a t-shirt tucked into some slacks. Ew, go back to wearing robes. It's because he is going to explore the world outside of Azdaha. That doesn't mean you tuck a t-shirt into slacks. Kudai tells Malaby that he won't forget the Red Giant stars. The Regia rides off into the sunset on a dolphin. You think it's a Newtype dolphin like in Gundam X? December 31st, UC 0089. The Red Giant stars war comes to an end. And that will conclude Red Giant 3rd MS Team. This was a really well done gag manga, but they played the ending so seriously, and it kinda fell flat. Besides using the Regia to come in with a random animal, there were so many opportunities for jokes at the end, and they just went with the generic ending. Oh well, even though this ending was mid, the rest of the manga holds up and stands up against other gag mangas like the Hooligan Saga. There is Tony Takazaki's Gag Gundam, as well as Fat Gundam, where it's Gundam, but everyone is fat. But are there any more in-universe gag mangas that you recommend? Let me know in the comments. That will do it for now, Newtypes. Remember, EFF uses a cross on their shields because they have the power of God and anime on their side. Peace.